Welcome back to Mufc Realist TV. It's, what is it, Tuesday, 6 p.m. where I'm sitting. So everyone that's tuning in, big up to all of you Manchester United fans all over the world, because today we are going to talk about what's going on with the, Sofian and Amrabat deal. How close is it? How advanced we are with Rasmus Holjund and the remaining signings and ins and outs with Manchester United. So you know what? It's a very exciting times. If you haven't noticed, Manchester United are doing bits on the market. So basically what I've been trying to say, providing a voice of reasoning, working in the intermediate market, in the football agency side, is try to get the most accurate news available for you as Manchester United fan base. It's not to say that I want to be here we go. It's the reason why is to just support that we're actually getting the right target in what Erik ten Hag wants. But before we continue the stream, there's a lot of things that you can do to support this channel. One thing is, you see all these buttons down below, like subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can hit the like button, because it's only Mick Ruby in the house here, all alone in the control room. So what you can do is to join and have a drink on whatever you're drinking, coffee, tea, beer, it's whatever it is your choice. But you know what, I'll be back in 10 seconds, so have a zip. Cheers for Manchester United. Let's do this. Listen, guys, you that have been following my podcast, me and Jarvis was kind of the first to come out to talk about the Amrabat situation, right? And it looks like Fabrizio Romano is watching us. It looks like Fabrizio Romano is actually tuning in. And I went on my YouTube analytics and find out he has been watching. So big up to you, Fabrizio. Let me know if you want to come on and do a collaboration story. Now, I do respect Fabrizio, but sometimes you got to fact check everything. And as I alluded before, for me, it's not about to be right to say, here we go. It's that his trademark. But let's collaborate and say, here we run. So let's dive into what he has been saying and comparing the notes, what we have been reporting. Are you ready to rumble? Should we do this? Let's bring in Fabrizio Romano to the stage, and let's call it Here We Run with Fabrizio. Come on, let's do this, people. Smash the like, please.
And so guys, let me start with Manchester United, with my United fans asking about many things happening on the transfer window. They signed, of course, Mason Mount, Andre Onana, but now the focus is on the new striker. Let me clarify one thing. Many questions about Sofian and Amrabat, and I told you many times, guys, here on the channel, on my social media platforms, Sofian and Amrabat is on the list at Manchester United.
Yeah, he is on the list. He is definitely on the list, and we've been saying that. But let's continue.
United is really appreciated by Erik ten Hag. The player is aware of Erik ten Hag's interest, so there is a very good communication, a very good feeling between Amrabat and Man United. And Man United, I told you that it was February, maybe some of you remember, Man United were among clubs calling for Amrabat at the end of the January transfer window. Man United tried to make that deal before signing Sabitzer, of course, different kind of players, but Man United were looking for a last-minute option after the injuries they had in the January transfer market, and the idea of Manchester United was to go for Amrabat. It was impossible with Fiorentina.
Yeah, I mean, true that means that you've been listening to what we've been saying, because for the past at least 6 weeks we've been saying that as well, that this was always the case, with his agent being Mohamed Sinha, somebody that we work with in the intermediate market. It's always been the case, and we've been reporting that. We even said that Sofian and Amrabat to Manchester United, people was like, nah, not happening. But it's always been the case. If you just backtrack to the videos that we made to say that there's always been the case, because if you remember the January window, we didn't have money to spend. We were looking at Sofian and Amrabat, and then they had the personal terms. But basically, Fiorentina said no. He will be sold in the summer, and then in the summer we can discuss. So this is exactly what's been going on. You know what I mean? So personal terms now never been a problem. They had an agreement, and also we're the first one to say that. Pointed out, Amrabat is not really Moroccan. He's not an Arab player. He's got, like me, I'm Serbian descent, but I have Swedish passport. So same thing with Amrabat. He's Dutch. And where did he come from? Utrecht. Who was the coach? Tenhag. Who gave him his first appearance in the Eredivisie? Tenhag. Here we go. Let's continue.
At the moment, they offered a loan with a buy option for Fiorentina. Was impossible to accept that with United and with Barcelona. They wanted Amrabat. And so now he's still on the list at Manchester United. There were conversations, positive conversations between Amrabat side and Man United weeks ago, but this is not new. This is something that we already said at the beginning of July.
So he said beginning of July. We are in July. Do you get my point? But what's beautiful about this transfer market is that if you can sort of create your story, create what you know, the facts, and to see what he's also saying, that is a done deal in a way. That is, here we go turns into here we run, and that's why I call it here we run.
It remains valid. As of today, the focus at Man United is the new striker. So Man United, after Onana, after Mason Mount, want to sign a new striker. They know it's important.
Okay, so let's pause this right now because, today I've been speaking to some people, but mentioned Alfredo Pedola from TV della Sport as well, has a different story than for Fabritzio. This deal is already been almost done and dusted. They're already looking for his replacement, have his replacement implied. They already said to the player Amrabat that, see you later, you're going. The thing is, what we reported yesterday as well, if you remember, that they are in deep negotiations. There's about the valuation between 3 to 5 million apart. That tells you that, everything is done and dusted with the players and agent, the image rights and personal terms, not a problem. Fantastic. Now they just negotiated because obviously, as a club, you want to sort of squeeze as much money as you want, but United have, they're not stupid, with Matt Hargreaves. They know that player wants to come to United. He said no to Liverpool. He said no to everyone else. He only wants to play for Erik ten Hag. And it's all down to done and dusted to finalize the contract, the payment terms with, Fiorentina. And they want 30 million euros. United know he's worth, with 12 months left on his contract, between 20 and 30. So what I've been told is going to be something around 25 million euros with 5 add-ons. And this is where we are at the moment. So I do expect this to be imminent very soon. He's going to be a Manchester United player, either you want it or not. But at the end of the day, I don't really care how much money he comes for. What I care about this transfer window is that he becomes a Manchester United player and that he is an Erik ten Hag signing, number one priority. Let me know what you guys thinking. Let's continue with Fabricio, what he says. Do we have a here we run?
To go for a new striker. The priority target remains Rasmus Holjund. I told you last week that Man United agreed personal terms with Rasmus Holjund, and now I will add something about that. For Amrabat, the idea, guys, is to wait for Man United to sign a new striker and then to proceed after the outgoings. It means Fred.
Yeah, here's a little bit where you are not really, I'm sorry, I respect it, but Manchester United has been working on multiple deals at the same time. Anyone can see it. The difference is that I only focus on Manchester United as a club. The thing is that, and Fabrizio Romano, he has the whole world network. He reports on every single club and transfer. So it's almost impossible, unless you're an AI machine, to constantly be plugged into the matrix to receive. So here's the thing that Matt Hargreaves and the recruitment team has been focusing heavily. It doesn't really matter who comes in first, but it all matters how advanced certain things in the negotiations process. So yeah, we know. Alanga was announced. I feel so sorry and happy for Alanga. That's 50 million pounds available. Boom, here you go. Fred is going 100%. Who else is going out the door? Telles. There is money to be sold. Maguire is going. Henderson is going. So this is the fire sale that we never seen before. An exodus. Let me know when. I haven't seen it. I haven't witnessed this unless I sort of blocked it in my PTSD mind. But tell me when in time did we actually act like a club in the outs? And that's the thing. So for me, it ain't matter who, but it depends on how it's advancing. So absolutely, we need to get the players out because that frees up the budgets and that lowers down the FFP requirements as well. So we're going to continue. Here we run.
Will leave Manchester United this summer. Just waiting to see where. And then let's see Donny van de Beek what happens. But once they will complete the outgoings, May United.
So nobody knows, everyone knows that Fred is leaving. We always love Fred. He's like the Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And that's Fred. 1 year left on his contract. People saying Fulham. People saying Fenerbahce or something like that. But most people also saying Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is doing bits with the Mbappe move, man. Seriously. Let's go, Fabrizio. Let's run. Let's start building up. Let's start jogging here.
United will focus on new midfielder, and Sofian Amrabat, for sure, is one of the big names on the list. Also, guys, for Man United and the agreement with Rasmus Holjund, we still wait for Man United to submit the opening official bid to Atalanta. The positive news for United is that Atalanta already signed a new striker to...
There we go. Before he continues to talk, I want to add on to that, that is the selling point, guys. That is the here we go already. Atalanta has already identified and signed the replacement striker. Rasmus Holjund will be red. That's the thing, right? Personal terms agreed. Forget about the PSG chasing. That's never going to happen. His heart is set on Manchester United. He's a Manchester United fan. And as working as an intermediate in the market, it seems almost impossible to convince. So put yourself in an analogy situation. You are in a nightclub, in a bar, observing that you see a beautiful man or beautiful woman. I don't know how you swing, but I'm just trying to make this analogy. And all of a sudden you see this hot person getting swarmed by suitors around the bar, trying to, score, trying to buy them person drinks. You're just sitting there in the background waiting. And in the dying minute before closing time, that bell, last drink order, you just swoop in, you ask the lady or the man of your dream, what do you want to drink? Do you want champagne, Dom Perignon? Do you want an Uber taxi or do you want a limousine home? Who do you think she's going to choose? Once you are persuaded that this is the better option and you are Julia Roberts, so I don't know who you want to be, but imagine that situation. It's almost impossible to sort of convince the other person to, you can have a lot of suitors, but if that player has his heart set on the beautiful, charming prince that just came in, no way, Jose. You know what I mean? So it's all down to break down what I might understand as well from Kees Plogsma from CEG, he's the agent of Højlund. It's all about breaking down the asking price from Atalanta with Lee Congerton. Lee Congerton set a stupid price on 80 million euro. Manchester United knows the true evaluation of Rasmus Holjund, who, by the way, scored 9 goals and appeared in 3/4 of a season only for Atalanta. So, realistically speaking, Manchester United is right. Realistically speaking, they are negotiating super hard to push it down. Realistically speaking, Rasmus Holjund would probably be a 50 million pound player with add-ons, leading up to 60 million euros. But at the end of the day, peeps, doesn't matter. Are we the accountants or the key performance index holder of the club? No, we're not. We are the consumers of the game. We want to see good football. We want to see that Erik ten Hag gets his players over the line, and here we run. So that tells me what? Højlund will be a Manchester United. And I don't want to really put a timeline. It doesn't really matter, as deluded before. But within at least 10 days, there should be something, right? There should be something. But, let's continue with what Fabrizio has to say about this. Bada bing, Fabrizio, over to you.
Formally replace Højlund when he will be sold. And the player is El Bilal Touré from Almeria.
There you go.
Deal completed. Everton wanted him, but he's going to Atalanta. So now for Atalanta, it's time to negotiate and to focus on the negotiations with Manchester United for Rasmus.
There you go. Replacement, what I told you. Touré, Everton wanted him. Yeah, there you go. That's your sign. That's your sign what you're looking for. And almost here we run.
Man United will make an official bid, but from Man United it's very clear. They will not overpay. They will not enter into the game of Atalanta coach Gasperini, who said maybe...
yeah, here we go, what I deluded before. Gasperini, by the way, is the coach of Atalanta. Gasperini has nothing to do to influence the sales price. You know what I mean? He can only speak in the media. And Gasperini said, oh, no, Are you mad? This player is going to be 100 million player. He will be. He will be. If you watched him play, like Uncle Jimmy told you yesterday in a podcast, you know that this is going to be the next Hojlund. Oh my God. So let's continue.
80, maybe 90, maybe 100 million euros. Man United are not going to play that game. Man United will pay what they want to pay and what they believe is a correct fee.
That's it, the correct fee. That's very important. Mark this word, the correct fee. That is exactly what Trasnfer, if that website tells you what it's worth as well. You cannot overinflate the price, but what you do in this market is to inflate, because in your back of your mind, you have a set fixed price, what you're willing to let the player go for. It's like you trying to sell your house, you know that your house, you want 1 million pounds for it, right? But you set it like a higher with the broker 1.4, so you actually hit that sweet spot. And at the end of the day, you negotiate and you come to agreement and off you go. So let me tell you how Matt Hargreaves is doing this, and after this video as well.
Atalanta started to value Højlund around 70 million euros, and Manchester United will entertain negotiations for something around 55, 60 million pounds. So,
as I said, bada bing.
This is the idea. Let's see how the conversation will go, but for sure we expect an opening bid. Let me clarify one thing. The agreement on personal terms is done, and Højlund said yes to Man United's salary proposal on a 5-year contract with option for further season. So same
5-year contract with an additional year extension. That means that Hargreaves and the team are negotiating the payment structure at the moment. You know, how much cash up front, how many years of installment. So if you do a 5-year installment, that means that doesn't affect the FFP, right? If you buy the player for 60 million, that means you can split that up in 5 installments, 5 years. You know what I mean? So it's astute.
Contract as Onana offered to Rasmus Holjund. 5-year plus 1. This is the agreement with the player waiting on the clubs. And as I mentioned days ago, Man United know that it's important to accelerate because PSG are speaking to the player side and other clubs could jump into the race if Man United will.
Scare tactics, paper talks, no. As explained with the bar analogy, you know, the pickup line.
Not close this deal this week.
So, guys, thank you for understanding. Thank you for understand how things work in the transfer market, right? It ain't like a FIFA career mode. And I'm trying to educate you to provide the voice of reasoning, what's really going on under the hood, because it's a shady business, right? It's so much interlinkage and fluidity when this happens. And that's why they call it silly season, because you might walk out from a conference meeting, you know, having everything agreed, turn around, you look up, it's blue sky, sunshine. Next thing you know, it's just thunderstorm and the shit hits the fan. So deals can be hijacked. In this case, it cannot be hijacked because the player's already set his mind on becoming a Manchester United player. So it's just a matter of days. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think it's Here We Go in combination with me and Fabrizio. We're creating a new title called Here We Run, people. Run, people. Thank you for tuning in, please. Thank you for watching. Stay beautiful. Be nice to each other in social. And believe, we are going places. We are doing bits with Erik ten Hag and the recruitment team. It's big Mick Ruby having my say. And hopefully I made your day. So we used to say peace, love, bananas. But now we changed it to peace, love, Onana. That's all, folks. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. See you later. Bye.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.